We're talking quarterbacks here on the channel today. All the quarterbacks that kind of suck might be starting. And we'll start with Tua Tagovailoa because there are some Tua slander going on the internet. Did you see the tweet of him like bouncing around?
Yes.
Like, yo, this man's brain dead or whatever quote tweet. We got to lay off my guy Tua. Everybody's got to lay off Tua because he's a dude. Grant, what do you think of Tua Tagovailoa?
Well, that's a loaded question. What do I think of him? Like, how do I think he's going to play this season, or just do I like him?
What do you think of it? Yeah, I want to know if you like him because a lot of people are hating on him like they don't even like him.
That is true. People are ruthless to Tua. I'll say that I think Tua is a bad football player. I think that in certain key moments, he's done a lot to make people think that he's not very smart. And I think that reputation has followed him for a while. I mean, back in 2023 with Tyreek and Mike McDaniel, I'm pretty sure he led the league in passing yards. He was at 4,600 yards. He had 29 touchdowns to 14 interceptions. Like, Tua was slinging that thing. And there was a point that, I mean, the Tua is better than Justin Herbert arguments were a real thing for like a full year and a half or so. Tua was on the cusp of being top 10 quarterback in the top 10 quarterback conversations. No higher than 10, but is he number 10? Tua was there. And then he's just fallen off of a cliff. And I think he's been a product of his environment. Obviously, it was not a good situation in Miami the last couple of years. I think that he's been under so much criticism that he has basically tuned out a lot of people. And that's not that you should be getting your advice from the public, but he's almost like retreated into darkness, it feels like. And now he's just only going to do what he thinks at the moment is the right thing to do. And that's just caused him to go down this spiral of, again, he plays like he has no confidence. People are making fun of him all the time. He's with a new team now. The fans there don't even really want him. Penix was, we saw the meme of Penix like pointing at him when he was sitting on the bench already. It's just, it's not a good spot for Tua.
You know what Tua is? This might be mean and it might be 100% wrong, but I'm just looking through his stats. Tua is a worse version of Baker Mayfield who can't run the football.
I get the comparison.
When you look at the stats, that's kind of what it is. He was throwing a decent number of touchdowns. He was throwing about half the interceptions that he had of touchdowns. That's kind of where you are with Baker. He can sling it around the field, but he's going to do some dumb things. That's kind of where I'm at with him. But yeah, Baker, I would rather have Baker Mayfield, obviously. That just popped in my head when I was looking at his stats. I think for the Atlanta Falcons this year, you get Tua on this 1-year league minimum deal. If you start Tua over Michael Penix, that's going to be a very clear statement on what you think of Michael Penix.
Yeah.
That's the problem. And I think Tua is a better quarterback than Penix, at least right now. He's more NFL ready. But when you draft Penix and you ship out Kirk Cousins, basically, you make Michael Penix the guy. And starting Tua could really impact the team for a long time coming if you don't bring Tua back or make the switch a few weeks into the season.
I'm trying to think of other instances of a team drafting a quarterback to be the guy, playing him, benching him, and then it working out for that guy. JJ McCarthy is a guy, I mean, we'll see what the future holds, but it certainly doesn't look like that's in his future. And he was in a similar boat, same draft class. As a matter of fact, off the top of my head, I would have to go back and really look, but I feel like if these guys ever do work out, it's in a new environment. Geno Smith and Sam Darnold are probably examples of that. Baker, kind of an example. I mean, he did get to the playoffs with the Browns, but then they gave up on him and they shipped him away, and it took him a couple of years to get back on his feet. So they're just not in a good spot. And let's also not forget, drafting Michael Penix in the first place was a controversial decision as it was, because they had literally just paid Kirk and then they took Penix 8th overall. And everyone's like, what are you doing? And now it appears you've given up on him for a guy in Tua who, again, it seems like the league is giving up on. So the Falcons have really mismanaged that quarterback situation.
Which I don't think that's fair to give up on. By the way, too, I think this is a hot take. I think teams shouldn't be allowed to post videos from joint practices.
You think it just like sets them up, sets the players up?
I think it should. There should be a mutual agreement between teams like, hey, I'm not going to post any videos of 11 on 11 or 7 on 7. Like you shouldn't either, because these social media managers a lot of the time put these guys in bad positions. I've seen multiple examples of it. Like the Philadelphia Eagles are posting Jalen Hurts interceptions. Like our defense is so good, we're picking off Jalen Hurts. It's not really a good look. Like that did like 8 or 10 million views on Twitter, the pick with Jalen Hurts. And then there was one with Tua at joint practice, and he is just running around like a madman in the pocket. And then he throws it just off a defensive lineman, knocks it down, but he like throws it right at the defensive lineman.
No, he throws it at his foot. He threw it straight down.
Whatever clip, I don't know. Maybe I saw a different clip, but he's just hopping around the pocket like he doesn't know what's going on. He would have been sacked multiple times. The NFL team should not be posting video from joint practice, in my mind, because it makes these guys look like idiots.
I brought up JJ McCarthy a second ago. He has lost the quarterback battle to Kyler Murray. That's not very encouraging. Tanner, I actually don't remember what your JJ McCarthy draft take was. Mine was always that if his college team didn't let him throw the football, he's probably not who you should draft.
I thought he was a winner.
I see, but that's an indictment. If that's how you feel about him, that's an indictment, because you should never say that about a quarterback you take in the first round. You should say he's got this arm strength, he's got this mobility, he's got.
You want to say he's a winner. You want to say he's a winner.
That's the first thing. That should never be the headliner. Well, that's Jalen Hurts. That's what we talk about with Jalen Hurts.
He's Jalen Hurts. I think JJ McCarthy could be Jalen Hurts someday. He just couldn't do it right away. Keep in mind, Jalen Hurts had the luxury of not being a starting quarterback right away in the NFL.
Well, JJ's had a year.
He didn't really, though, because he had an injury.
Yeah, fair.
I mean, I guess he should have probably picked up a little bit more when he was injured. But like when you're not getting those reps, he didn't get any real reps for a year. Jalen, sat for 2 years, I think?
No, I think he played as a rookie. I think he came in for Wentz in like week 11 against the Saints, but he started on the bench.
Let's see. Jalen Hurts, he played in 15 games. He only threw 148 passes, so he was a package quarterback, and then
they were running him like once or twice a game, and then they actually started him on Monday night, and I think it was against the Saints.
Yeah, but he had the luxury at least not being expected to be the guy right away, and JJ was the guy pretty much immediately in that second season. You would have thought he picked up a little bit more. But I think JJ is a winner, and I think being a winner is good as a quarterback. Is he going to go out and make a million plays for you? He could. Like I think the upside of JJ McCarthy is higher than Tua, for sure. Not even close. Tua has exhausted all resources. There's nothing left. We've seen the best of Tua. It's on the downhill. JJ, we have not seen the best of.
See, I agree with what you're saying there, but Tua has already peaked. I don't think JJ McCarthy will ever hit that peak. I think from this point on, his potential is higher than Tua's, but I don't think he'll ever do what Tua did.
9 is a starting quarterback in the NFL.
Oh, I got to disagree with you on that. Can I name backup? Let me name some backup quarterbacks, and you tell me. Forget let's say like the next 3 years. Let's talk about who you'd rather have.
Okay.
Would you rather have JJ McCarthy or Marcus Mariota?
JJ.
Would you rather have JJ or I was gonna say Malik Willis? He's a starter now. Would you rather have JJ or how about Ty Simpson?
Ty looked good in the preseason, so I'll probably say Ty. But here, let me go back to your Malik Willis take. Like, let's not forget that Malik Willis couldn't beat out Will Levis for a starting job.
So are you saying that because he wasn't ready as a rookie, that doesn't mean his career is over?
It takes time. Well, they drafted Malik Willis before Will, I think. Malik was there like a year.
Yeah, he was there earlier. Yeah.
Yeah. The bottom line is these guys aren't ready to play right away. Malik Willis came in for the pass. If he doesn't come in, if Jordan Love doesn't get hurt and they don't bring Malik Willis in and Malik Willis doesn't play as good as he does, like he's not getting any contract the size that it is. He's not being a starting quarterback in the NFL. So it only takes like one good stint. So the next time JJ McCarthy gets his opportunity, if he plays well, there is a realistic chance that he can be a starter. But go back to what you were saying. I will still take JJ though.
Well, you know what's funny about this too is there's the Kevin O'Connell quote where he said teams usually fail young quarterbacks before young quarterbacks fail teams. So if he's reached this decision, keep in mind he did have the reclamation project of Josh Dobbs and Sam Darnold. Like, I feel like that does say something that he is the one who's giving up on JJ.
If Kyler Murray plays well enough, he's probably going somewhere else, because for the Vikings, I think you want to give JJ another chance. Now, maybe you learn something from Sam Darnold and say, we can't let this guy walk out the door, but Sam Darnold is not Kyler Murray at this point in his career. I think Kyler Murray has seen his best football. I think he can still win, but I feel like Kyler Murray's ending up on the Jets or a team that's going to draft a quarterback and he's going to be the starter for 8 games.
I think you're probably right. All right, let me give you a couple more backups, then we can move on. Would you rather have Mac Jones or JJ?
Mac Jones. You got to say Mac Jones. You have no option.
Would you rather have Tyson Bagent or JJ?
I'll go with 9. I
like Bagent.
I do too, but we're talking about a first-round draft pick here.
Would you rather have JJ or Carson Beck?
It's too early to tell, but probably Carson Beck. They both won. They both have, won big games in college.
I would take JJ. Those are just the 5 that I wanted to run through real quick.
Well, I think with JJ, if Kevin O'Connell drafted JJ, because again, I know he's not a general manager, but in the end of the day, most general managers are not going to pick a quarterback that their head coach doesn't agree on. And when you saw Kevin O'Connell see JJ do well, and you saw the speeches in the locker room, and I can't get over the game on Monday Night Football against the Bears where he just comes out and wins the game for them. And that was the JJ McCarthy show. You can't tell me that Kevin O'Connell doesn't think there's something there long term. So I think it just takes a little time. I love 9. I think 9's a starting quarterback in the NFL, and I hope we get back to that point.
Final veteran quarterback we could talk about, and there's actually a young quarterback tie-in as well, but let's go to Cleveland. Deshaun Watson and Shedeur Sanders. We have always expected Deshaun to win the starting quarterback job. Some conflicting statements here. So the Browns had a joint practice with the Bills. Todd Monken said it didn't look like we were out of place. It looked like we belonged, which is kind of sad to hear your head coach say that. Like, he recognizes he's in a losing situation. But then I also saw that apparently CJ Gardner-Johnson was yelling at Shedeur, it's check down city out here. He won't throw the ball. So clearly he didn't think that he was doing a good job. But then I also liked the Shedeur quote that I saw where he had been asked, it was something about luxuries and whatnot. And Shedeur basically said, we don't deserve any of that because we haven't proven that. We are a losing franchise and we need to work our way out of it. And there's beauty in that. We need to work, but we haven't earned anything. So what's the check-in in Cleveland?
Well, the fact that Todd Monken took this job, and I get you want to be an NFL head coach before it's all said and done. I get you want to be a head coach because he's never been a head coach. But the fact that a 60-year-old man took this job to clean up the Cleveland Browns is a catastrophe in my mind. I don't think he's going to have the energy to do it. I don't think many guys could do it, let alone a 60-year-old who has been an offensive mind his entire career. Now you got to manage the personalities of Deshaun and Shedeur. Deshaun's out there saying he's okay if he gets booed. He doesn't care. I would be bowing down to the city of Cleveland. I'd be, I know we had rough times, but I'm here. I'm back. I'm competing my tail off. I'm going to try to, prove to you guys that I deserve to be a starting quarterback. Because at the end of the day, if Deshaun Watson's the starting quarterback and he wins football games for the Browns, he will be cheered. He will be praised. He'll be getting his free dinners in Cleveland. No one's going to think about Deshaun massage Watson. Now, for Shedeur, I think Shedeur saying that's probably good, but the majority of the time Shedeur is in front of a microphone, he says bad things. He says dumb things. It's not good usually when he takes the mic. So we'll see. I think my mindset is always, if you paid Deshaun Watson and you've got no use out of him, you're probably going to want to get a little use out of him. I think Shedeur, upside wise, is much higher. He can make throws down the field. He can do more exciting things. He's more explosive, but he's also going to do a lot dumber things. Deshaun Watson's probably not going to turn it over a million times, but you might score 10 points a game. So that's the balance. What works for you more, the quarterback who's safer or the quarterback who's more risky but more explosive? I tend to think they're going to go with the safer quarterback. And the thing is, like, if Browns lose games and Deshaun Watson sucks, like, Shador's still got such a crowd of people supporting him that they will be booing Deshaun Watson to a point where he will not be able to function in Cleveland.
Shador Sanders expected to start against the Buffalo Bills in their preseason games. That will be fun to see him. Guys, if you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe as well. We post every single day. And leave us your thoughts down in the comments below. Thoughts on Kyler Murray, on JJ, on Tua, on the Browns quarterback situation, any veteran quarterbacks out there, whatever you got, let us know. We want to see it.